Hey, we're Saints. Good morning. Welcome to our Crucifixional Life stream. Father Chris here. Glad to have you beautiful people with us on this glorious day. You know, when things become scandalous and hit the headlines, a lot of people involve themselves in it, but they also run, particularly in the case of the church. When things happen inside the church, as it does invariably, because the church, though perfect from God himself, it's the people sometimes in it and sometimes the leaders in it who make a mess and make mistakes, and people tend to want to run from it. It is perhaps one of the reasons why people are saying that church attendance in the United States is declining. So I know you know this, but in the past few years, attendance and participation and commitment to churches and faith has declined steadily in the United States of America. People even claim, well, I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. We've already talked about that and how silly that statement is, but it's still a thing that people say. In fact, in 2016, Ohio State University did a study, much like the Pew Research Institute would, to see why people are the church attendance is in decline, and they found four factors. And one of the four is scandal in the church. In the report, they wrote the following: confidence in religion in particular is at an all-time low, partly because of religious scandals in the Catholic Church and elsewhere. Such scandals encourage cynicism among many observers, regardless of their religious affiliation. And this is not an opportunity for me to take licks at the Catholic Church. Every religion has scandals. It's just this was what Ohio State published. And it struck my eye because I thought about it like really deeply, and I thought, does it produce cynicism? Is it an actual reason? Is it true? Do people actually believe that and think that if there's scandal, I must remove myself entirely from the situation? Or is it an alibi to do the easy things? And that's exactly what I think it is. Like, if you're really honest and think about the scandals that we see out there in the world, why do we participate in all of those scandals but remove ourselves from the church? Think about, like, in the sports world. Michael Jordan, it is purported that his gambling problems and his gambling debt ultimately led to the murder of his father, yet we consider him to be the greatest of all time. Another athlete, Ray Lewis, who was a linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens, was accused and even tried for murder. And yet today he is revered as one of the greatest defensive players, and he's even a sportscaster for the NFL. Likewise, Kobe Bryant, who was accused and tried for strangling and raping a woman in Colorado, at the time of his death became an icon to the point where we worship Kobe. Look, and I'm a Lakers fan, and I loved Kobe when he was playing, but we don't have a problem with those scandals. And it's not just in the sports world. I mean, think about, for example, President Trump. A few years ago, he was recorded talking about grabbing a woman's genitalia. And yet, millions and millions of people passionately follow him and support him. Likewise, President Biden had sexual scandals and accusations himself, not to mention the Ukraine issues and Hunter and emails and all that kind of stuff. And yet many, many millions of people also support him. Why is it that when scandal happens, we don't abandon those religions? But when scandal happens, perhaps in the church, we're quick to run. And I think the answer is because it's easy. Let me tell you what I mean. It's easy to watch a football game in the comfort of your own home, sitting on your couch with a bag of Doritos, drinking a beer. It's easy. You don't have to do anything. You just consume and absorb. Likewise, it's so easy to thumb through your Twitter feed or your social media feeds or to watch Fox News or CNN on your phone to see what's going on in the political world. It's really easy. The gospel, the way of the warrior saint, asks you to do hard things. I mean, the church asks you to get your behind out of bed early on a weekend morning, go to church to gather with other people and worship. The church asks you to put your will aside so that you can focus on other people instead of being self-perpetuating. The gospel, the life of the cross, being crucifixional, asks you to sacrifice yourself and your comfort and ease for the sake of becoming an exceptional man, an exceptional woman, an exceptional human being, becoming a warrior saint. It's hard. And so it becomes convenient for us, and that's why I use the word alibi, to get out of church because it scandalized me. Bro, everything has scandal. It's everywhere. That's what sells. That's what makes us click. That's why scandal is always on the top of the headlines. And great stuff is usually down towards the bottom of the page below the fold because it doesn't get the clicks and it's not easy. Hard work is hard work. And so the truth of the matter is, we as warrior saints cannot allow this alibi to keep us from doing and being the people that we know we're supposed to be, doing the things we're supposed to do and being the people that we're supposed to be. We are supposed to, and I'm calling on you really, like, repeatedly, I need you to think differently. I need you to recognize that so that you can act different. So you can still do the things that you need to do in spite of how you may feel about it, sometimes even on Sunday mornings when you're tired. And then you will become different. You have an opportunity to become that warrior saint that God has called you to be. It is not an easy thing to do. Precisely, that's the whole topic of today, is that it's really not easy to do the right thing. It is not easy to be exceptional. But nevertheless, we have been called to do so. Now, the good news is, as you try this, as you attempt this, you do not have to do it alone. Our academy, we launched it last week. Or 2 weeks ago, I guess. It's so exciting to visit warriorsaints.org. You're going to go to our website and see the Warrior Saints Academy. And the reason I keep pushing it is because we work hard at it to provide you with teaching and tools, biblical, practical, simple, fast video format to help you as you are battling all of the alibis that you may want to participate in, as you are battling the scandals of the world and of life and the difficulties and the chaos. And you might find ways through the gospel of Christ, by living a crucifixional life, to transcend and ultimately to be transformed. So you can find yourself comfortable, seated on the couch with your Doritos and your beers, flipping through CNN.com and watching NFL games. Or you can follow the way of the warrior saint and become exactly who you're supposed to be. We'll help you do it. It's very simple. Just click, visit, subscribe to the course that helps you best, and let's get on the way of the warrior saint.